Last week, I quit the podcast. Now we're back together. Misunderstanding, didn't understand. It doesn't matter, 'cause now we're back together again.
Yes, perfect. I love it. What a way to kick off. I love that.
Well,
Fantastic. I mean, clips are weird, so.
I said it would be cringe.
I love it.
I know, I loved it.
No. Well, there we go, everybody. That was a very hard start to the podcast this week. I'm just gonna go into it. It's fine. That's fine. I'm Nettlecreates, your host for this week. I am joined, apparently, by Tenacious D, otherwise known as Bendy.
You're welcome. You're welcome for that. Sorry about your ear hole. I'm the Admiral Idiot, Bendy. And I'm back, even though I left for like a second in the last episode, but I thought it would be funny. So, if you enjoyed that.
You be the judges' crowd. And by the beautiful Tempus.
Oh, hello. I mean, consistent running joke, so love it. But also, would it not be Tenacious Bendy?
Tenacious Bendy, yeah. Tenacious B.
But yes, thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you're both here for this. How are we doing? How are we both? How are we feeling?
I've been practicing that whole line in my car, on the way to work, on the way home from work. So that's been my week.
What,
Excellent.
Since last week.
Yep.
Just
Every
that's all she's been
day.
doing since last week.
Takes me so long to practice.
Hasn't actually been into work.
Not at all.
Be calling in ill every day.
Sitting here, just walking from there to here, sitting in my chair, singing that song. So...
Got to make sure you get those 2 steps right.
Obviously.
Yes, I'm okay, thank you. How are you, Nettle?
Yeah, I'm alright. I'm even better after that.
Score! 1 to me!
Bendy's winning!
That's it.
Yes, welcome back, everybody. It's another week. So I guess that means we've been playing some new things. Maybe. Tempus, why don't you start us off?
Me? Well, okie dokies. It's been a bit of a quiet week for me. I have been continuing on with my Hades run. Got 2 Hades consistently and beat him on my 31st run, I think it was.
I think it was 31st, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel quite happy with that. So we beat him with the spear, which was good. I've now moved on to the shield. Got to him again, first run with the shield. So I feel like I'm consistently kind of getting there now. So it's just leveling up and unlocking everything and that. But I'm so invested in this game. I feel like I'm going to be streaming this for like the longest time. I might just become a full-time Hades streamer.
Just a full-time Hades. Speed running, all this shit going on.
That's it.
Is that not the, like, antithesis, or whatever that word is, of a good game?
Yeah.
That you just want to keep playing and you want to keep doing. Even though technically you've completed it, you just want to go another run with another weapon and one of those sort of things.
It wasn't even really... Because I'm surprised that I've done that run. I'm not going to lie, I didn't think I was going to be beating Hades anytime soon. And I've had people coming in, like new people coming in chat that like playing the game and everything. And like, they've all said like, you can see why it's Game of the Year and things like that. And like why it got Game of the Year last year and everything. And hands down, I don't know why I never played it sooner. It's one of the ones I'm kicking myself up the arse for. That and Witcher 3.
You did it, and you've completed it. So.
True.
Well, it's got 1 run.
101%, yeah.
101%.
But
completed it, mate.
Well,
finished it.
Bruv. World record now. But yeah, no, but I mean, there's so much more still for me to find out because I've
Yeah.
got to gift so many things and unlock still so many things. So I'll be playing it for a while. But I also did start playing Trek to Yomi.
Oh yeah.
Came out on the Game Pass. On the
Yeah.
Game Pass.
It did. Obviously, we spoke about it before when we tried it at WASD. I really enjoyed it at WASD. After having some extended time with it, we're no longer on speaking terms. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still think it's a brilliant game. Like visually, it's fantastic. I just love the audio in the game, like entirely from like the music to just like the noises in the background, everything. My kind of main issue, I'm playing it on like the normal difficulty, so you know, there's story, but there's still a little bit of fighting to be done. You've still got to actually. I could have easily done the story mode just to kind of get through it, but I wanted to play it and see how difficult it could be. And I just feel sometimes the buttons are not responsive. Like you need to press a button to turn around to face different directions to like defend and attack. Because basically every time you're fighting, you're 2D. So you're having to press a button to flip around to then attack or defend. And that A button just does not respond half the time. And I think I'm in like chapter 4 currently. And I'm at a bit and I just cannot beat it. And it's like, I mean, we know I like a bit of a rage in a game. And like I'm not being funny. I literally rage quit that game. I turned it off my Xbox and everything. I died. And this is the thing. I'd only died about maybe 5 or 6 times trying to do this. It wasn't even like I was grinding for hours, but it was getting on my nerves so much with it. I was like, I need to turn this off, otherwise I'm going to need a new controller. But I mean, I will go back to it. Other people have said that they're enjoying it as well, but like I feel like that might be the other thing that I've heard from like other people as well talking about it in our Discord. May I add, links down below. Like, but they've said the same thing. Like that, it's good, but it can be difficult. And someone else is like has mentioned the unresponsive buttons as well. So
The thing, it's probably
Yeah.
not so much unresponsive buttons as too much button pressing at once, and it doesn't have synchronous button presses. So it won't, if you press one, it won't realise that you've pressed another one straight after it, so it won't do it. So,
which is no good for me because I'm
a
a
little bit
button
technical
masher.
there, guys.
I
That's
literally
how
used-
I play games.
Well, I used to play Super Street Fighter Turbo 2 when I was a kid, literally doing this on the buttons. The blisters you had on your thumbs from playing that game. But yes, that's pretty much been me this week. So
Just a little bit of information on Hades speedrunning, guys, just to blow your minds a little bit there.
yeah,
The
coming soon.
fastest speedrun so far for Hades on speedrun.com, my official speedrunning website, is real time 15 minutes 18 seconds, in game 5 minutes 16. So that doesn't count from, basically it starts from when he lands in that first bit. It doesn't count like going to get your shop and stuff. It's every room it counts. So from hitting down to beating Hades, 5 minutes 16.
Cool.
Hey.
Let me just write that down, because I will never see that.
Right. How can you be that good at games?
You have no life and you do nothing else.
They don't know what grass is.
Yes.
What is grass?
I
Who
don't
is grass?
actually know what grass is. So
Hardly know her.
hardly know her.
Yes.
Lovely. Well, that sounds fun, though. I mean, yeah, we did enjoy. I enjoyed watching people play Trek to Yomi. I was not going to play that game. It's far too difficult for my puny gaming skills. But it'll be interesting to see as and when you complete it, what you think then. I think.
I'm gonna try and get it done before next week, so I can at least have a finished opinion on it. But
Well, there we go, folks. There we go.
it's
Next
only
week.
like 4 or 5 hours long. It's
Oh, is
actually that long
it?
a game. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So I think I'm
It
probably
is
about
an
halfway
game.
through already. So
Yeah. One to look forward to there, folks. One to look forward to. Rage. Bendy!
So,
Other
in
than
Wonderlands,
just
did that.
sitting and practicing your singing, I mean, you know.
I mean, that's only in the car. So, it's been busy. It's been busy. But, so play Wonderlands, play a little bit more of Life is Strange. Let's not bang on about those anymore. So, to sort of the reason why I started playing this game that I am playing is because my other half at the moment has found The Last Kingdom, and he's been
Ooh.
watching the shit out of that. And if you don't know, that's about Vikings. Well, the Danes and the English and the wars to make England. Historically weird, you know, it actually happened, but most things didn't actually happen. You know, those sort of dramatized history. So I thought, ooh, what's dramatized history that I haven't played, but I've had it since it was released? Valhalla. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Little bit late, I realise. But I was like, my plan was, I'll finish Odyssey, I'll finish that, and then I'll start playing Valhalla. I dropped off Odyssey hard, like really hard, and it's not because I think I played it. So when I go back into it, I'm like, where the fuck am I? What am I doing? Who am I? Cassandra, right? There's something about Greeks. Someone's there. Pythagoras, I think. I don't know. And so I was just like, right, but I do need to finish that before I start Valhalla. But I was so interested in this Last Kingdom, and like, I don't actually know a lot about our like the Anglo-Saxon history, and I should do because we're British and that's our ancient history, but I just don't know about that. And I was really interested, and then I started reading up about Valhalla and when it was set, and they're set at exactly the same time. So it's like the Danish invasion and King Albert of Wessex, and then it goes and you go and see him and stuff, and all the places are the same. So you go through like Scotland, Northumbria, Mercia, Wessex, Kent, and I was just like, I need to know. And so I was like, fuck it, fuck you, Odyssey. I'll go back to you at some other point. Let's get Vikings up in, yeah. And it's a typical Assassin's Creed game, although I don't, you know, I thought Norway was really flat, so I didn't know how they would put in synchronized points, because Vikings not known for things being really tall, but
Apart from other Vikings.
Yeah, just jumping on the heads of your Viking men and just like synchronized.
Well, I mean, they're like 8 foot tall, wouldn't they? So
I was a little bit disappointed. I synchronized an area. Like, I haven't played too much. I've played about a couple of hours. I just went to a random place. Like, I wasn't following the story. I was just like sailing around in my longboat, and I was like, "Oh, this place looks like it's a hub of activity." And look, there's a synchronized area. So let's go and run around and do your Assassin's Creed bits. And you get to the top of this longhouse. Synchronized, beautiful, by the way. Series X upgrade, 84 gig, well worth it, because you just sort of, it panned around and the sun was setting, so I had like synchronized at just the right time, so the sun was just lowering down the horizon. My god, it looks so pretty. Like, well, very cold though, looked very, very cold. Maybe chilly. But yeah, it just like span around like it does in Assassin's Creed games. It's like, oh, that's a lovely horizon. But I went to do the usual thing you do when you synchronize in an Assassin's Creed. Jump into a hay bale. Nope. Doesn't have that.
Since you got to climb down.
I just jumped off the edge. Just went, literally, I fell onto another part of the roof. Lost half my health, and I was like, I climbed back up to to look around to see if I just went the wrong way, because like there's certain ways that you go in the hay bales. And I was looking around, there's no hay bales. That's it. I was just like, right, so there's no leap of faith here, right? Do I just climb down? I just literally climbed down. I was like, I'm sad.
Climactic.
It's almost like you've gone up the top to jump off into a hay bale, and your mum's come out and shout at you, "Get down here right now!
Get down off there before you break a leg!"
Because like the first one I did, I dived into a pool of water because it was on a mountain. So I thought, I thought, oh, it's still going to be exactly the same. But then this one was like, nope. And you look around, and there's no hay bales anywhere in this little town. I'm like, oh, where are my Assassin's Creed hay bales? Where are they?
Here, have a roof.
Hopefully, when I get to England, or whatever it's called at this point in our history, there will be hay bales. If there's not, it was an email from me. I'm literally excuse me, Mr. Ubisoft. What did I just do? Ah!
Right, you are here.
Nothing. Hello? You're there?
Hello? Sorry for that technical intuition there, guys. I don't know what she's doing.
Anyway, I'm typing away from my keyboard here. I'm just gonna type, Mr. Ubisoft, how very dare you take away my hay bales?
Disgruntled Bendy.
Very disgruntled Bendy.
It's Tempus, and I don't know why. But that's fine, I'm sure. That's what I've been playing.
Very good.
Sounds good.
Sounds wonderful. As for me, that's fine. I have got back because of somebody in this podcast. I have started playing Hades again, and I'm probably about to lose all my life. So spare life.
Yeah.
It's absolutely Craig's fault. He's a dick. To that. I'm not doing as well as you, Tempus. I think I'm on about 18 runs, and I've only got halfway through Elysium. So
loads of time yet.
It's better than me.
I was doing it at work on Tuesday at lunchtime. I was like this with my controller, like getting really angry with stuff, like, and it's just my director of art just stood behind me, and I hadn't realised, and he was just like, "Are you okay?" I didn't realise he was there, and he scared the shit out of me. And I was like, yes!
Controller went flying.
Yeah.
What?
So I've been playing that. I've got 2 new games, though. 2 new games!
You spoil us.
We're a gaming podcast, and we play no new games. Oh.
This is really annoying. I can't see Tempus.
Hello.
He's just 2 little boxes doing the circly thing.
No, Discord. Well.
Oh well.
As long as you can still hear him, you're hearing it. Oh.
It's probably a better view.
I miss Tempus.
Okay.
You.
Hang on.
I'm staring at Nettle now.
Okay. I love you too. So the first new game that I've played is called Before We Leave, which is a city builder and resources game made by Balancing Monkey Games.
Yes.
Brilliant.
I love it.
It's basically, the premise is you are building a civilization, a city from kind of a Fallout situation where the entire world has been decimated and everybody's been living in bunkers for quite some time, and they start coming out, and you're building little houses for them, and the premise is you build technology up as you go from stuff that's been left behind by the previous civilization, which is just humanity that's just fucked themselves. And you slowly but surely build into bigger cities, bigger towns, more technology, and then you leave the Earth. You create a rocket and leave, hence the name Before We Leave. It's interesting, it's fun. It gets a little bit boring at times. I think it's a little draggy You have to do a lot of research to do a lot of stuff, and it's a bit like, takes a lot of time. Got a bit bored. Persevered because I wanted to figure out what was happening, but it was a bit like, it's fine. If you like city builders or resource game, I think you probably like it. I think if you're new to builders and resources, you probably find you get very bored very quickly because it's just the way it's like concepted up. I feel like they could have done smaller steps for things rather than, oh, you've got this research, now you have to go all the way and way up here before you can do this research, and it's like, okay. But yeah, it's average. I think, as I say, if you like that kind of game, you'll probably be all right with it. If you don't, probably give it a miss because it's free on Game Pass. Sorry, I will say that it is free on Game Pass, but it's a lot of time. You have to sink a lot of time into it to get the city to where you need to be to get to the end game to leave. So
like a MOBA game.
No,
Can't put money into.
You don't wait, as in you don't have to wait for cycles, specific days. It's just it takes a long time for your research to go to 100%. And in the meantime, you're having to get your villagers are just doing what they do. Like you don't. It's not hard to lose.
Empires.
Yeah. It's not hard to run out of resources. I found it wasn't hard to run out of resources. So like you're not having to think of other things while you're waiting for the research to be done. You're not really finding problems. So it's a waiting game. Really. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 because it's not a bad game per se. It's just there are just times where I think they haven't quite dealt with the waiting situation. But there's nothing fundamentally wrong with it. So, it'll pass the time. It's free if you want something to do. It's a good tutorial for it. So if you've never played any games like that, it's quite hand-holdy in the tutorial. So yeah, go give it a try if you like that kind of thing and you have Game Pass. I think if you don't have Game Pass, probably give it a miss. I don't know if it's really worth the full price that Team 17 always put on their bloody games. But yeah, that was the first game. The second game. Now, you will know if you have ever listened to us before, because we literally bring it up in every single podcast episode. We love Stardew Valley. I saw you mouthing. And so far, we have not found a game that compares to it. I have not found a game that is as good as it, but I have found a game that I was very happy to play instead of Stardew Valley.
Sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu.
So, it's called Sunhaven. It's an... Have you seen this?
I saw you playing it the other day on Discord.
We spy on each other, guys.
But, yeah, I have seen some other people play this game. So
yeah, so it's on early access in Steam at the moment. It's £20. So stuff is still changing, but there is a hell of a lot to do in it already for an early access game. It's technically a multiplayer fantasy farming simulator game with dragons, magic. It has a main quest line, it's RPG style skill progression, and has a final boss. So you get a farm, and they ripped this straight out of the Stardew Valley book. You basically get a farm in this little village, towny villagey place, and you have to make it better, and you have to make the farm look pretty, and you grow crops, and you can get chickens and cattle and stuff. I haven't quite got to that part yet. But it's fun. It's not boring. I'm not waiting for anything. It's good. And you have magic. It has that weird JRPG element to it as well. Again, I haven't quite got there yet, but the enemies are hard, but not so much that you want to rip your face off and go, bleh! It's got that weird dividing line of, this is a really calm farming simulator game, but also I can go and actually kill things if I want to. It's not, like I said, it's not quite as good as Stardew Valley, but I was very entertained by it. I loved it, and I'm going to keep playing it. So, if you want another Stardew Valley-esque game, Sunhaven is definitely the one to go for.
You might have to stream it so I can see.
Might have to do that. It is fun though.
Hint,
And
hint.
you get to, it's kind of like the RPG thing is, you actually can choose your character. Not like Stardew Valley cheat where you male, female, what you dress like. You can choose a race. I am a cat girl. I have cat ears
you
and a
always
big
loved it when a
tail.
cat girl was me.
But they have
Back
like
in the hose.
they have like vampire and wizard, they have human, they have elf and fairy, they have angel that you can choose from.
Bloody hell.
I know. It's really, really good. And as I say, it is a multiplayer, so you can play this with your friend, like Stardew Valley. Don't know how it holds up. Don't know if it's okay. Don't know if the servers are all right. Haven't tried it with anybody yet. But as a farming simulator go, this is much better than any of the other ones that we've tried like we've compared to Stardew Valley. It's much better. Again, I will say it is not Stardew Valley. It is going to be very difficult for anything to beat Stardew Valley because of what it is. The fact of the matter is this game has basically ripped a bunch of like the beginning of Stardew Valley anyway. But it's good. It's well worth the £20. So yeah, it is the closest I think we've gotten to Stardew Valley. Plus it's got some extra RPG elements. But I will say I think the Haunted Chocolatier might have that kind of RPG element to it as well. So we're going to have another fighting contest after that comes out, because that will have upped itself again. But yeah, Tempus and I were just talking about the fact that the multiplayer is apparently 8 players, which is incredible. That's a lot of people on your farm.
Mm. Yeah, on a single farm as well.
On a single farm, yeah. That's
I
a
don't
lot of
know how
cat
big-
girls.
Well, I don't know how big the area is that you get in the game.
So by myself it was huge. I don't know if other people get like separate cabins. Again, that'll be something to try and check out. See what happens. But yeah, it's early access, so there's still stuff that's going on. So I can't give it a good, because obviously you can plough the land, so you know what that means.
You can plough a dick. Wait.
I mean, if we're going for the Witcher language, yes, you can.
Is there a term for that? Ploughing a dick?
Ploughing a dick.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Anywho,
Let's not go.
Micro pegging.
Micro-pegging. Oh, we're gonna get banned off YouTube.
oh, the pain.
I just love that Bendy's camera just throwed on that shit-eating grin. You did a funny, yeah. Even though you can draw dicks, I can't quite give it a 10 out of 10 yet, because it's still in early access. There's still things being made. There's still stuff that could go wrong. There's still stuff that could be improved. So I'm going to give it a good 8 dicks out of 10. So if you like farming sims, if you like Stardew Valley, go check it out. Give it a go. I think you'll like it.
Sounds good.
Yes. And that is what we've been playing this week, ladies and gents. It's quite a varied little lot there, wasn't it?
Quite a few new things.
So, ladies and gents, what's your news? What's your news, Bendy? What are you newsing? Tell us something.
Who, me?
Yeah,
Sorry,
Bendy.
I'm getting like every other word. So,
Oh no.
I'm having little petty and obviously internet issues today. Where is my notes? So, as I do my cursory Google when I'm sitting at work, like, what's in the news? I came across, because now I am the resident sports time game person.
Bendy
We
with the
love
sports.
games. It's Bendy with the sports. EA Sports. It's in the game. Speaking of EA, they're no longer licensing FIFA.
Nope.
So FIFA 23 will be the last game they have in the FIFA franchise FIFA, don't know if you know about this. The first FIFA game was in 1993.
Oh my
So this
god.
last game,
30 years old?
game
30 years.
slash
30 years.
30 years of FIFA.
That's
And I
incredible.
remember that first FIFA game because brothers had it. So yeah, they just they don't want to pay money to have the name FIFA. So what they did is they've made EA Sports FC. Fucking brilliant name, EA. Well done. You should have called it EA Football Game or something.
EA football
I mean,
game.
I'd have paid for that.
Sports Football game. So
I
that
mean,
is my news.
As if EA
30
could,
years of FIFA.
as if EA can't afford the FIFA licensing. Fuck off. Of course they can. Cheap bastards.
It's not they can't afford it. They don't want them cutting into their profit. Still, they want to go. They want to build this game that's their own license to pay like money for a license, so they can put the same fucking microtransactions in it and make more money because they don't no longer have to pay. And it's called E. What a shitty name for a game. Come on now, fucking EA.
It's
Be
true.
serious.
It's shit. I hate EA. I haven't liked them for a long time.
I mean, it's kind of funny that they've done this, considering obviously the other big football game was PES, and this year they changed. They're no longer Pro Evolution Soccer. They are now eFootball, and is a free-to-play game. So, you know, it's they're changing their concept because they're looking at probably all of these things that are free to play, but they still earn money off of like packs and skins and battle passes and stuff. And they probably thought, well, maybe that's probably the way to go because they don't have to release a new version of the game every year either.
I wonder if people are getting bored of football games. I know you're always going to have that hard, passionate group, but are people going?
I play it a little bit, kind of when it first comes out or whatever. But I'm not being funny. I don't play online. I'm not the best at the game. I'll do like some manager mode, and then that'll be it. But I mean, with them not paying for the licensing, is this going to be like? I can't remember the game it was now. But like it was we had a football game when we was growing up. It might have been just before like the FIFA kind of kicked in, and it's like because they didn't have licensing to the team names, like Arsenal was London Highbury. Like is that
So
because
they'll definitely do that.
yeah? So that also means so like rather than paying FIFA, they might end up just paying clubs individually because I did see after this news broke that Arsenal have signed licensing with a different game.
Interesting.
So, and I think that's the thing now. It's probably going to come down to because I've noticed over the last couple of years.
If they don't want to pay for the licensing for FIFA, fair. Like they want to make money out of their own game. Fine, but are they going to do the same with Madden? Oh. So they're going to have EA American Football Team
FC, NHL.
I mean, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it might be down to the fact that Pro Evo have changed their concept because they were their main competitor to like football games. Because they've now changed the way that they're running things, I wonder if they've now looked at it and gone, do you know what? Let's just save ourselves loads of money and just do this. Because like they can probably still pay for individual teams, and the funny thing is some players have to be paid separately to the teams as well. Like I think a lot of them in their contracts have literally got image rights. So like you could be paying for the team, but you might miss out on like the biggest player because he doesn't want to be in that game or whatever, or the money you're offering isn't enough. But I guess we wait and see because, like you said, we've still got 2023, which will come out in like September, October time. So we've still got what 4 or 5 months before 2023 comes out. Then you've got another year of that FIFA game before we even really see what's happening with EAFC.
EA Sports FC.
Mm.
Shit
EA
fucking name.
Sports football game.
Yep.
I've never played FIFA. I've seen my brothers play it, and I'm never going to. But why are like, okay, cool, but why don't you think of a better name? Like, seriously, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. EA Sports FC.
They basically just wanted initials, I think.
Mm.
EAFC. That'll be an easy hashtag and shit.
Just call it football game. Just
EA's generic football game.
Oh, I'm not being funny. You could just call it EA Football. EA Football.
Yeah.
EA football. Although I suppose that might confuse the Americans.
Yeah, but there it
EA
is.
Soccer. Sorry if you're American and you're listening to us, but it's football. All right.
I think that was a perfect rendition of the way you say soccer. So yes,
Which were very English then. But yeah, so
yeah,
I get we've got time. It's going to be a while before any real details come out, I think. Anyway.
Yeah. Thank you for your sports news, Bendy.
And back to you in the studio.
Interesting news there from the world of sports. Tempus, what about you from the world of
here at weather?
Weather.
Cloudy with a chance of news.
I mean, yeah. So I'm going to be talking Apex Legends. Specifically, Apex Legends mobile release date.
Oh,
because yes, there's a mobile game. The release date is the 17th of this month, so just 6 days' time.
Jesus.
Yes. And the details for this are as follows. It is being released on the 17th. It only has 10 playable characters.
Okay.
Who are Gibraltar, Caustic, Lifeline, Bangalore, Mirage, Pathfinder, Octane, Wraith, Bloodhound, and a mobile exclusive character, Fade.
Fade?
Fade. That's right, people. Apex Legends Mobile will be getting mobile exclusive characters. Mm-hmm.
Ew!
Yes, but
for you listeners, I am sarcastically putting my thumb.
Yeah, we know how well mobile gaming goes. I wonder if by exclusive they mean they're going to be an exclusive mobile character for a certain amount of time before they're brought onto console and PC.
That has to be the case. People will riot.
Yeah, but I mean,
unless they've built mechanics around a mobile.
I really hope they haven't.
Well, you say that it says here, his kit. He's basically called the Phasing Punisher. His kit gives him a speed boost at the end of a slide, the ability to flash back to a previous location through the void, so Tracer style. And his ultimate is called Phase Chamber, which sends all legends into the void. Oh my god, so it sends you to a completely different place. It says here he's basically a more aggressive version of Wraith, and Wraith is pretty fucking aggressive as it is.
Say, when has Wraith not been aggressive?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's awful.
Yeah, but from what's been provided, he's a human with red and silver armored soul. That does not make sense at all. Oh, it looks like a red and silver armored soldier. That would be it. I missed a word. With gold highlights. But I mean, he looks like an old man because there was a tweet with the trailer for it, and he appears at the end, so you can go and see him. But it's funny that it's literally 6 days away from release for a mobile game, but it is. I did find it weird that it was exclusive heroes to the mobile version. I feel like, you're just trying to get people to go and play mobile for the sake of playing these characters, but is it going to run as well on mobile?
I mean, you'd hope they'd have optimized it for mobile so it would run fine, but
I know COD Mobile's a thing. Is Fortnite Mobile still a thing? I don't actually hear anyone ever talking about it, but
nobody plays these games on mobile.
Well, this is my point. I think they're offering you this exclusive character to go and play on mobile, but what if you really like him, but you just don't like playing it on your mobile?
Yeah, it's bizarre.
But,
I don't get that at all.
No, it feels an odd one to me, but I get that they want to push the mobile thing. You know, again, do we feel like it's going to be crossplay?
I fucking well hope not, because God, nobody on mobile will win anything.
Can you imagine mobile coming up against? Because I remember when mobile first released on Fortnite, and I was watching like some Fortnite videos. Just people on Fortnite, you could just tell straight away that they were on the mobile. But again, yeah, I still feel like that this exclusivity won't last long.
No way.
They might they might keep it for a while as an exclusive, but they're going to have to transfer over to the main game eventually, surely, because I can't see the mobile being very popular.
No, absolutely not. I mean, why? I just don't get it. I will never understand like these shooter games being on mobile. I'll never get it.
I mean, I know mobile phones are getting better and better as the years go on, but
true, yeah, no, I get that. It's just the fact that the fact that they're put on mobile is generally that they think people are going to be out and about playing it, which means they're not going to be on Wi-Fi or even, the best thing you can do with these games is be hardwired into the internet. They're not. They're going to be on Wi-Fi. They're going to be on their own data. It's going to drop out. So these people are just going to disappear. I don't get it. These games are not to be played out and about. They're to be sitting in front of a monitor or a TV screen where you can concentrate and hear things. Not like, come on, guys, seriously.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to play it mobile that bad, I mean, I know everyone doesn't have one, but I mean, it's on Switch. I'd imagine it's going to be a better version on Switch than it will on your phone. Maybe.
The same version, but slightly better because you've got an actual device. Yeah, Yeah. But I just... Yeah, if I find that I'm going up against people who are clearly on mobile, I'm going to be so hacked off. Like, it's an easy win for anybody against mobile. It's an interesting one. I'm not happy. I'm not happy about exclusivities for platforms at all. I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think it ever will be. So we'll have to see what the fuck is going on there.
Yeah, well... What
the fuck is up with that?
I guess come next week, we might have seen some people playing it or something. I'd imagine some people will try testing it out on like videos and stuff, so I might be able to check out and see what the quality and stuff's like. So
yeah, for sure.
Should I do it?
I was going to say I might just download it to give it a try.
Free.
Well, if it's going to be free, yeah, like it will be on the consoles and stuff. It's literally a download. Give it a go.
Don't knock it till you've tried it. Nah, I'm good. I'm just going to knock it.
Yeah, so that's my news. Onion rings.
That's the weather, guys. I don't know what I had to do with the weather.
No.
I'm on tech news. I'm your local tech person. So scientists have invented mouth haptics for VR.
For fuck's sake.
They've been polite and have said, you know, this is including. Sorry, Ben. I think Bendy's having some tech problems. So they've included things like you can, when you find the wind on your face as you're riding a bike, or if you're taking a sip of water from the fountain, it feels like you've got water like running over your face. They've also given an example of covering yourself with spiders and feeling them run in and around your mouth. I can think of much better things than that.
I'm sorry, but I'm having real bad internet problems and I can't hear anything, so I'm just gonna sit here.
That's fine.
Just haptic feedback for your mouth.
Yes, haptic feedback for your mouth. It's in a bunch of virtual reality demos. Its main thing at the moment is the metaverse. But that's
going to take off.
No, it will take off in the metaverse, but, Tempus, but not the way they think it's going to.
Leisure Suit Larry.
Yes! I'm sorry, but this is what's going to happen in the metaverse. Facebook, people are going to have virtual sex. You're going to have virtual BJs going on. People will feel like they have a cock in their mouth.
To be fair, the next thing that scientists invent will be a groin attachment. It'll be like Ready Player One, that you can just feel every touch. And Bendy's face, he's just stuck with like disgust.
There is some stuff that science should not invent. This is one of them.
It'll be in like 4D next, and it will just like spurter on it.
Well,
It'll spurt you in the face when you do certain things for enough time.
Well, when Nettle said that,
like a shake weight.
Oh. When Nettle was saying like, you feel like the water's on your face or whatever, I just imagine you put this thing on, but it's actually people in the room being really quiet, like blowing in your face and throwing water at you. It's like, oh. That's the wind.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the news that scientists have in fact gone too far.
Scientists invent porn.
And we should burn them before they go any further.
Wait, the scientists or the haptics?
The scientists. We can keep the haptics.
Yeah, I mean, we'll keep the haptics.
We'll keep the haptics. God, yeah.
Don't waste that.
And that was the news. That was the news.
Wow.
I hope we're all very happy with ourselves.
That turned into news after 10.
We are so getting banned off YouTube. So we come on to the question, the topic of the week. This week it is an actual question that I posed to the lovely Bendy and Tempus. And my question, bringing in some of our other interests that we're all into here. My question was, yeah, haptics, math haptics. If you could take any video game and make it into a board game, which includes two TTRPGs, what would you choose? Bendy, you can go first.
So, do you both, this isn't really in your demographic, but do you, Nettle, remember the game Dream Phone?
Dream Phone? No.
Please tell me that I'm not really old and you don't remember it. Okay,
Hang
that's
on.
exactly what it is. So, Dream Phone was a board game specifically for little girls in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
You got a big old phone, right? And it came with the board game, and you had to work out who your crush was. Right? Hear me out. like this will make sense in a minute for what I'm gonna link it to, but this is the type of board game that I think needs to make a comeback. It with a video game twist. So, what you did was like you had cards, like Cluedo, kind of like that. So you eliminate things, or guess who? You eliminate things because you go into certain places and you go, hey, green shirt, and then you take that person who's wearing a green shirt away to call up numbers, right? And it's like, hi, it's Sally. I heard that Kevin likes you, but he's not wearing glasses, or some shit like that.
I remember this now.
Dumb. It's called Dream Phone. It's called Dream Phone. It's what it's called. And I like my sort of interactive games because I also really liked Atmosphere, which brings me up because I have two. Oh shit. This is my pitch, alright? So it's Dream Phone.
Give me your deck, guys. Come on,
Life
give me your
is
deck.
Strange.
Ooh.
So you can make any scenario. But I'm gonna go with I don't really want to spoil it for people, but a situation that happens in Life is Strange 1. That situation you have to find out who done it, what happened to Rachel Amber, basically. So then you get the cards and you get all the people and you call up, because it has like a phone mechanic, and A Life is Strange True Colours has a phone mechanic in it. And you just make calls and you go, hey, it's Chloe, he's a he, or he's got dodgy glasses, looks like he'd be a that sort of thing. And I think that would be really fun. In that art style, you got a big old purple phone or some big pink phone. And you play Dream is Strange. Fun.
Dream is
That's what it will
strange
be
fun.
called.
Strange.
And that's my game. That's what I do. But I also think as well we should do a nerd atmosphere game. So you have literally like you're playing a board game like you normally would, except you however you want to do it, an app or whatever, and the outsider comes up every now and then and says, "You there, whose turn is it next? Lose a turn." But it's the outsider and it's all in the Dishonored sort of like you have to go through Dunwall and you have to get to the end of Dunwall while assassinating people along the way. But yeah, so these are my childhood 90s experiences of board games, and that's how I would
That's really
change
funny.
them into board games.
Because I had Dishonored as one of the things that I would have changed into. It's not the one I've chosen overall, but it was on my list of ones that I was going through.
Nice.
I'm sorry, I tried to work out what you said, but
I also had Dishonored as one of my things that I was thinking of. So.
Oh, I see, but not Dream Phone Life is Strange.
Oh, that is inspired.
As soon as you said board game, I was like, right, what board games do I remember and what board games did I lie as a kid? And Dream Phone, I played it like once at a sleepover for this family that lived opposite me, and I didn't really know them that well.
Oh no.
It was kind of like, oh, let's Bendy. That wasn't my name at the time. I'm not going to use my actual name, but we have to, because like she's the only street that's not going. But I had a lot of fun because we played Dream Phone with these girls didn't even know.
How you
So
make
I
friends
quite
is
like, 'cause I
board
didn't have any
game.
friends when I was
Mm.
Yep. I went home soon afterwards because I got too scared, and and this is why I don't have it.
I'm ignoring that comment. Tempus, moving on
Hello.
to you. None of us are going to be able to top that. I'm gonna just say.
I was about to say, like, we've peaked early.
Yeah, we
with
peaked
Bendy's
early.
options,
I went for the
so,
wrong person first.
But I
You
also
just didn't expect Dream Phone.
Dream
Boom,
Phone.
there it
no,
was.
no, it was very well incorporated. But I also have two. One's a board game though, one's a TTRP, so
Okay, fair enough.
RPG. So have either of you heard of a game called Zombicide? No? Cool. Basically, you've got a map, you'll choose a character, and the idea is that you have like a mission to complete on the board, but zombies keep piling onto the map, and you have to kind of complete your objection and get out, and like you can kind of carry on with missions and things. And there's loads of little minis, as she's googling. But like you have like loads of characters, and they have like their own kind of abilities that they can use and things. And as soon as you ask this question, as per usual, there was only one game that came to mind. Overwatch, but in Zombicide. So all the characters you can choose to play have a mini. They all have their ability on their card. But instead of zombies, you're
Robot.
fighting the
Omnics, as they call, aren't they?
Null sector,
Yeah.
which is the bad guys. But you could also be fighting Talon
Ooh,
in different stories.
I like it. I like it.
So like mission based incorporated maps, you can have like obviously different maps of different areas. You choose your hero you want to go in with. You complete the mission that you're set to, and you will just have enemies just keep spawning and flooding the map. It's a very difficult game. I will say.
Clearly.
Yeah. But it was the first thing that kind of came to my mind, and I was like, oh, well, nothing's entering it now. I can't beat that.
That's fair enough.
But the TTRPG thing I had was actually for Hades.
Oh.
Imagine.
I would be in that world. Sorry.
Imagine that the character you make is a demigod, spawned from one of the many gods. You get to choose who sired you or whatever, but you get sent to Hades, and you're basically trying to get out like Zagreus is. But there's like obviously there's weapons and like every time, and the thing is, it's hard. The whole point is that you will die and you will die lots, but your character doesn't die. You just level up the more furthering you get, and like the amount of story that you could make from like interacting with all the gods and stuff like they've got in the game already. But like your DM would basically just sit there, roll however many enemies, then spawn in that room. Because they don't all just come out at the same time either, do they? You kind of complete a wave and you can throw a few more in, like say it's like a roll to determine how many enemies get in the room. And then like obviously each room you get your upgrade, so everyone gets like there's depending on how many players there are, is how many boons kind of get offered out. So say there's 3 of you, 3 boons get thrown down, and you kind of take it in turns taking a boon. So you might not always get the boon you want. And then obviously it still has your 2 exits, which gives you the options above kind of thing. But I just thought, I was like, because we was talking about how good the lore is and like mythology for that is, and like, can you imagine you just constantly trying to escape through Tartarus and you're fighting the Bone Hydra and like I said, it's gonna be hard. The whole point is that you will die and you will die a lot, but you're not in the back of your head like, oh my god, I'm dead. I'm gonna have to roll a new character. You die, you know.
Same
and you gain
character, you
Yeah.
just have to get different shit as you go back again. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
You could also like change the mythology up, so you're not necessarily staying with Greek. You could go Norse, you could go Egyptian. Like if you wanted to change things around, because it's still like the same story. You get made by a god, and you just work your way through their underworld in the same
Yep.
way.
I'm sorry. An Egyptian TTRPG like that would just be Moon Knight. Bendy didn't get any of that because of the internet.
Curse you, internet.
I missed it.
I said an Egyptian TTRPG would just be Moon Knight.
It's why I'm thinking about it. It's why I'm thinking about Egyptian. It's because of Moon Knight.
And Norse
Fucking
because you're
get
playing
serious,
Valhalla.
That's because of Valhalla, yeah.
But
And Romans would just be very confused because
Absolutely adore.
but yeah, so that was kind of
Rome would be exactly the same as Greek, just like
it's a Spider-Man
different names,
meme
isn't
just
it?
pointing at each other.
Aries, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. What are you doing here? Cool. So
Saturn.
that was my 2 pitches. So
I like 'em.
you know,
Lack 'em both.
I
Lack 'em
mean-
both.
hashtag Hades game if you're listening.
Supergiant, call us. Or not, because our studios are in
Yeah,
direct
'cause-
competition with each other.
All I want is a pink phone, and life is strange.
Right, I don't know how to top that, quite frankly. I feel like I should just give up now. But I do have 2, but one of them isn't as fleshed out as the first one. So, kind of like Tempus, my first one is actually, I'm starting with the TTRPG. But it's limited in the only fact that you can only have 4 playable characters, as well as the DM. DM? Whatever you want to call it. And your 4 playable characters will ride together as you go out in the Darksiders TTRPG.
Yes.
Hey!
4 horsemen.
I love Darksiders so much, and when I actually wanted to get something that Darksiders would be the answer, so this is how I came up with the question. Now, the reason why I've chosen the TTRPG is technically does have a board game, but it is rarer to get than the Stardew Valley board game, and it costs about £240. So we don't believe that exists, quite frankly.
Not real.
But this, yeah, TTRPG, you're all 4 of the horsemen. It's set after the last game where you're all back together and you're trying to restore humanity to the state it was before all the shit in Darksiders happened. You obviously each has your own ability. You know, different ones.
I'll be Fury.
You are Fury. Yeah, I am War because I'm just an angry bitch. Whoever you want to be. Death.
I'll be Rage. Who's Rage?
Rage is not a horseman in the Darksiders. Sorry.
They've changed. They changed.
Fury
Yes.
isn't one either.
Sorry?
Yeah.
No,
Fury
in
and Strife are not original
Darksiders.
ones.
In Darksiders they are. As in
Yeah,
this
no,
they are.
yeah.
So. But
'Cause
Rage
normally
isn't.
it's pestilence and famine, isn't it?
Pestilence and famine, yeah. But they don't exist in this world and they can go fuck themselves, so.
I'm pretty full of pestilence, to be honest. So it was about right.
You're also very full of fury, so.
I am. Yep, you saw that earlier with the fucking name of a game.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yes, so you don't have your individual traits, much like in a normal TTRPG, and you would obviously have different scenarios that come up, and the way you react, you'll have to roll. You roll for your shit. Sorry, Fury. Everybody just gets angry at that point. And depending on what happens.
I would like to be furious.
The only difference is, obviously, the Darksiders can't really die, but you do have to go down to... name I've forgotten, where they start. Not hell, but they're in a little place. And you have to... Purgatory, I guess it is, yeah. You have to work your way out of there to get back to the rest of the 3 if you lose all your HP.
So, one of the games I used to play, a D&D game, died and wanted to be resurrected. We would do a game, I think I've mentioned this before, called a death shot. So, where you would literally pay through a scenario to get yourself back to life, and you could do exactly the same thing. So,
yeah.
That person goes down to HP, they can't finish the round that they're playing, but then you could go on to later then do their death shot to get back up to be the full horseman. And I quite like that sort of idea of that mechanic. And now I'm thinking, right, how will dice rolls work? Is it going to be like is it going to be a D20? Is it going to be have like modifiers in that sort of way, or is it going to be like a blades where it's you either fail or you pass or you kind of like yeah. Now I want to make
There's thoughts.
this
Yeah, there's
discovery.
thoughts.
I was thinking the same with the Hades one as well. It's like, would that just work the same battle mechanics as D&D?
I mean, you
would that look
mentioned
at other
TTRPG in
ones,
front of
or-
Bendy. Her brain's just going to go into one gear, and it's gonna. This scenario is going to. She's going to write all of this down. It's going to be a game by next week.
Tempus already got a great idea.
Still working on it.
Still working on it.
Watch this.
Yep.
But yes,
Unnamed
that,
TTRPG.
yeah, that's my main one, and my secondary one, which I haven't put quite as much thought into, but I really thought it would be fun, would be a Phasmophobia board game.
Oh yeah.
So obviously,
I was thinking that too. And I was like, I wouldn't know how I.
You've got to have
No.
someone that controls the ghost.
yeah. Obviously, it'd be like the Monopoly man, the banker who gives out all the money, but he's the person that
Like-
controls the ghost.
Or one of those like hidden agenda kind of games where you don't know who the ghost is.
Oh
Mm.
yes,
And you
like
have
the
to figure
imposter.
out who the ghost is.
Mm.
Yes, like that.
Mhm.
There is a zombie one and a vampire one that I've played before. Where
Ultimate werewolf.
Oh, I love Ultimate Werewolf.
That's the
Sorry.
one.
But there's
It's
another
like
one.
that, but you're the ghost.
There's another
Ultimate
game
Ghost.
called Resistance.
Did
It's
we
kind of
play
like set in
Ultimate
space.
Werewolf in the hotel lobby at our first MCM? We stayed there. Definitely played one which was like a hide yourself one.
I have a feeling
sure
that
we-
was a Battlestar Galactica one that we played in the lobby, because I think I've only played
It was
Ultimate Werewolf at
Thailand.
work.
It might be, yeah. I think it might be the site where you have to hide your asylum. But I love those kind of games. I love those deception games. That would be great. Because you have to build that temp because you don't know who it is, and it builds
Yeah.
that tenseness that Phasmophobia creates. Like you're like, oh, it's the thing, and like people maybe drop off when you to kill them, and so I don't quite know how the card game will work, but like
Well-
you slowly drop people off a little bit like the thing, maybe.
Maybe it's because like this other game I suggested, Resistance.
Mm.
Basically, you have to go on missions, and basically you take it in turns being the mission controller. You decide who goes on the missions, and then everyone votes with a little token. It's like yes or no, and then you kind of mix them up together, then flip them, so you don't actually know if the imposters are voting yes or no for things. And if so many missions succeed, then the resistance wins. And if so many fails, then like obviously the imposters win. But you could easily do something like that where you all have like a communal deck, and it'll be a mixture of maybe the card's got two sides, like two halves to them, like EMF reader, and then the other one's like what is it, like smash a light bulb or something. And you kind of have to put your cards down, mix them up, and then flip them, and then whoever's like the ghost obviously does an effect.
As that, yeah. So you have like your ghost cards.
Yeah.
You have ghost cards, and that does ghostly thing. You all put them face down in the middle, and you mix them up, and then you have to try and then figure out
Love
who
it.
has done that, like their poker faces
Yeah.
and stuff like that. This sounds like a really fun spooks game. And I love that idea.
Yay! We love it.
I'm now
I-
going to be working
I-
on this.
I would play every single one of these games that we've spoken about. I would play them.
Yes, I would.
Yes,
These all sounded fun.
they're good.
Dream phone, atmosphere,
Would.
phasmophobia.
You could just do an atmosphere phasmophobia, except just the ghost jumps out at you. It's like, boo!
Can you imagine? Just sat in the dark. The TV's blank. Like it's just black the whole time with silence. And all of a sudden it'll just do the
No.
noise or something.
God, no.
Or it'll flash up something on the screen. Everyone just goes, fuck, and the cards go everywhere.
Oh, that was
I
a
feel
wonderful
like
bunch of
we need to
answers.
all I think we need to all get together and play. Like, I think we need to get together and film ourselves playing Atmosphere because I think that could be hilarious.
Oh
Or Dream
my.
Phone, for that matter.
Dream
I will go
phone.
and buy Dream
Both.
Phone.
Do it both.
Both. Jesus.
It's Dream
Tempus, who
Phone.
is your crush?
Oh my god, it's Freddy Krueger.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Just combine them both.
Oh God.
Love it, love it, love it.
Wow.
Great. A wonderful set of answers, really. Well done, guys. I'm very proud of you all.
I'd like to know if anyone that listens has any games
Let
that
us
they feel like
know.
could be turned into good board games, card games, TTRPGs.
We do love them. We love
Send
it.
to us
Tell us.
Mm.
for when the Unnamed Gaming Productions is in full swing. We'll make your card game if we
Yep.
love it enough.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Tempus and Bendy, thank you for your wonderfulness tonight. Please let our audience know where we can find you, Bendy.
I am the absolute glitch queen, apparently, because my internet's terrible today. You can find the Admiral over on Twitter, Bendy Ben's Costuming, Facebook, Instagram. Why don't you follow me on Twitter? Because I've had some fun things in my Twitter feed recently, and I want to see you there. Come and join.
Sorry, something just made a really weird noise behind me, and I'm quite scared now.
Right, if your screen
the
goes funny,
ghost.
I am gone. I will message you if you're okay. I am not hanging around.
Tempus, where will we find you?
You will find me anywhere that there's not a ghost, and on the internet under @Tempusbe, one word, everywhere.
Wonderful. And I have been Nettlecreates, and you can find me on all good and bad websites of the dubious nature as Nettlecreates. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, guys. We will.
All those haptics.
Oh goodness, we're gonna say goodbye before we really do go too far and get banned off YouTube.
Wait.
So
Before we say that, though, also follow the podcast socials. Twitter, T_U
No, I'm not saying
G_P. Unnamed Gaming Podcast.
You'll-
TikTok,
you'll find us.
YouTube, like, share, subscribe. Do all of those things so that
Join the Discord.
join our Discord. I sometimes say good morrow, fellows, and then probably don't speak to the rest of the day because I'm fucking busy. But still, come and join us. We've got bunch of great people in there, but don't forget to check your fucking coat. You hear me? Goodbye.